Now, I'm meant to be talking to you about myself just at the start here, a bit of an intro. What do I do? Well, mainly I make music for a living. I'm a singer-songwriter with the band The Black Seeds, formed in '98, I know. And also Fly My Pretties, which is more of a collaboration. And we've played in this very theatre, in fact, before. We've recorded in this very theatre before. So music is usually what I'm into and what I do, but I thought, actually, that's quite a boring topic. I'm not going to bore you with that and tour stories of waiting around in the van, because, to be honest, we're actually professional waiters is what we do. We get paid to wait in airports. We get paid to wait in our van. We get paid to wait for people to set up their sound gear and these kind of things. So that's actually quite a boring thing to talk about. Nick, hit me with the first slide. Oh, wait, one second. Are we ready to go? Because I get 6 minutes 40, and it's going to be a good 6:40, peeps, so you better be listening. I'm taking questions and notes from your reactions and asking you questions after this. Not really. Okay, we're going to do it. Go for it, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, it's date night. That's right, that's my topic for this Pecha Kucha. And the reason I chose date night is because, being Wellington on a plate, it's filled with dates. Now, I'm not talking just about the date that you have when you're a single person, guy or girl, going out on a date for the first time. I'm also talking about the long-term relationship date. That's right. Now, if we look at a brief history of courtship, 200 years ago, you didn't have multiple dates before you decided who you're going to marry in the Western framework of things, did you? No, you probably had one, and your parents probably organised it for you. And so we've come a long way, and in the last 60 years, we've been able to, or had the ability to be able to have multiple dates before we decide on that long-term commitment. So this is what I'm talking about tonight, and there's a few insights into what date night is, why we do it, and why it's important for you to do with your partner. And there's the definition, just in case you were able to read and listen at the same time. That seemed longer than 20 seconds. Date night inception is the most important part of my presentation to you. The idea of date night, putting it in the brain of your partner, is actually has the most value, even more than what you do on your date night. It's the value of the idea that you're going to do something together that's different. You're going to experience something together that's different that you haven't already done. Now, of course, once you accept that idea, there's then expectation and reality, and they're quite different things. Now, the more dates you have, the less expectation there is. The less dates you have, the more expectation there is for you. So watch out for that one. Of course, there's a big gap between expectation and reality. I want, but. Budget. Don't worry about the budget. I'm not John Key with you. It doesn't matter what you spend on date night. You can't afford, obviously, to have dinner at the Taj Mahal every night. So, a roti canai is fine too. Used to be $5, it's $8. But it's somewhere in between. Doesn't matter if you're Logan Browning it or if you are fish and chipping it. But what you do need to think for your date, and when you're thinking about and planning your date, is the ingredients. What's going to be in there? We need some music, we need some food, obviously it's centred around food, potentially, maybe a movie. Certainly not in your trackies watching a DVD, that is not date night, people. Does he like it spicy? Does she like it garlicky? Now, here's some guys out on a double date. Dress code is important. What are you going to wear when you go on a date? Ladies, too much makeup. Guys, a little bit loud. Wear something appropriate, but, that's probably not appropriate for anything apart from a rock and roll concert. But aren't they looking good? Anyway, these guys are happy, they're having fun. Now, one great example of when I overdid it and chose the wrong place to take my lady for a date was in Bangkok, our last night of the trip, and I chose the most expensive and probably the crappiest restaurant I probably could have chosen. We sat down and we ate this $200 crayfish, New Zealand $200, and we're talking about Thailand here, And then we went and had a couple of these. Booze, you've got to watch out for booze on your date night. Booze can crush it. Booze can choke it for you. So it's nice to share a few nice wines, but you don't want that argument at the end of the night. And you certainly don't want to fall over or do anything embarrassing during your date with your long-term partner. That's just a little friend of mine. Music. That's Donny Hathaway, fantastic musician. Music's important. It creates the atmosphere for your date night. Al Green, I would recommend. D'Angelo, I'd recommend. Donny Hathaway, I definitely recommend. Music equals love, people, and if you're creating an atmosphere, it's got to be good for your date. For sure, no doubt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and thank you. Distraction. On your date, don't be distracted by your phone. Do you know some men use their iPhones or similar devices up to 100 times a day? 100 times a day? You will not get away with that on date night. I would not recommend pulling that out on date night. Put it away, guys and girls. You have other phones, probably a Nokia from 1989 or something like that. Anyway. Now, this isn't from my family collection. This is from the net. And you might think, what the hell is he doing? Well, spontaneity. Look at him. He's just having a bit of a striptease. He's obviously in the snow, in some kind of igloo or something like that. And he is just having a good time. It's spontaneity, people. Feel free to change and be flexible with your date. Be spontaneous and don't be worried about it if you don't want to, if your missus doesn't want to change the date or does want to. That's my girl on the left there, Laura, and that's a fisherman in Vietnam. This is a day date, and I'm taking her on a fishing trip. We don't fish much. But it's about experience. A great date, you have an experience. It's an activity, and it's value for money, I tell you. Conversation. Now, you don't want to be talking about work, and probably you're a bit over talking about family issues. So keep the conversation light, but obviously your experience from where you went to dinner, the music you saw, the activity you did is going to make great conversation. Sharing, people. Anyone here like Seinfeld? There's an episode where Jerry Seinfeld has got a date, and his date is stealing his chips from his burger and fries, and it's really annoying him. Guys, don't let that be you. Sharing is good, and the whole point of going out on a day night is to share these experiences, so don't let it worry you. Most of all, probably most importantly, is relaxing. Let's relax. Relax when you're out there. Don't let the pressure crush it or choke the good times. Make sure that you're relaxed and not in your trackies, not that relaxed, not in your slippers. Movie date. Now we're obviously in the Paramount Theatre, and I do believe a movie date is a date. Can be defined as a special date, but is it that special when you are not talking to your partner for an hour 40 as part of your date, and you've probably only got a 3-hour date? I would recommend you do that as a different date, and you call that movie date, separate to date night. Now, the frequency of dates, the more you have, the less value it is. Somewhere about the middle is where you want to hit, and that means not once a week, not once a month. It's probably about once a month, actually, and but not once a year, guys or girls. Once a year is not enough, to be honest. Yeah, they're having fun. You seem to be having a few giggles. Potentially some of you are on a date night tonight, and this is a perfect example of a great activity where you can share an experience and enjoy each other's company and perhaps get something out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, and all the best with your date nights. That's me. Cheers.